Hey everyone, a video I just did showed my Farkles flags and my NVB pegs. Now one thing I did before I put the pegs on is one time I was on the freeway and I put my foot on the air scoops to see if I liked that position. And the blowhole here going down the freeway, even though the fan wasn't on, was cooking my foot. So I've always heard of the block-off plate, but I didn't want to go buy one because I didn't know whether my bike would run hotter, and I didn't want to cut holes in the bottom plate and all that kind of stuff. So what I did, believe it or not, I had bought this tray that goes in the trunk here that Velcros in and has a stupid strap and all that and holds it there. Hated the thing. It was the flimsiest piece of junk I ever bought. But maybe you'll recognize it. I cut it in half and I made a block-off plate. And went for a ride today, and it was about 92 ambient. And believe it or not, Spyder didn't seem to run any hotter. I noticed the fan in traffic ran a little more often, but not anything to worry about. So the block-off plate is great because if you had pegs, you're going to get cooked without it. Now, one thing I did do is the pegs I only plan to use when I'm cruising, or something like that, like when I'm running up to Reading this weekend, 800 miles, or 8 hours, pardon me. But one thing I did do is make it removable real easy. Watch. Just pop this grommet. You don't have to pop the front ones, and you can pull it right out. See that? And I can put it back in the same way. No popping other grommets, just that back one, and I can slip it right back in there, and it stays in place. I went for a good 60-mile ride today, highway and traffic and whatnot. And this plastic didn't melt, didn't get too hot, didn't do anything. So basically, I just made myself a little block off. Notch for the grommet up here. Basically, it tucks in between the panel and the fan scoop. And then when you close that panel, it holds it in place. So that's my little homemade job. Who knows, maybe I'll buy a nicer one, but this worked pretty good for me. I'm not saying go buy yourself the shelf, but if you did buy it and you hate it, there's something you can do with it. Anyway, just a little block-off panel in my experience. Again, didn't seem to make my Spyder run any hotter, and I didn't cut any holes in the bottom. Again, it was 92. Let's see, what does the temp say right now? 93. And this has been sitting here for a while. Now you can see the temp. All right, and I pulled in a little while ago. So there you have it. Insta block-off plate. You could probably make your own out of just about anything, but that's how I did mine. Anyway, thumbs up for that, especially if you're going to be cruising using your pegs. Take it out when you're going to be running around town if you're worried about running too hot, but I did not run too hot. Anyway, talk to y'all later.